Da 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 da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. Let's give YouTube a couple of minutes to get those notifications out. In the meantime, if you've never popped into one of my lives, I'm Cindy. I explore the inside and the outside. And in exploring the inside, I get that opportunity to practice my craft, just not out in the real world, but in my real world. Today was editing day. Oh, first off, today was Thanksgiving here in Canada. And, I have a lot to feel grateful for. And that was part of the understanding for me tonight, that sometimes we have to be kind of reminded of how much we actually have because there are lots of people out in the world, right? Struggling just to put a meal on the table, clothes on their children's backs, little bit of medical care. You know, I didn't dictate where I was going to be born, the family that I was going to be born into, right? My status in society. Understand now that I'm going to dictate that all, right? But it is in that environment that we grow up in, right? And it's in our choices when we grow up in those environments to decide whether or not that's an environment for us or if we want to move forward. It doesn't mean that you have to abandon everybody, that you have to give up everything that you love, right? That you have to be the slave driver in your own life. Really messed up today. I was editing video. This was the only plan I had today. I had other goals and other things that I would have liked to have gotten done, but those were only meant to be there to fill up those few moments of procrastination or, right? I got stuck and I had to get up and get away from what I was doing. I didn't want to waste my time in things that really didn't matter. So I had things that I needed to get done. So I put those energy into those things. And then I'd come back to my project of editing that video, determined, right? I promised my audience I was going to get that first edition. I put out a video already from my trip, but it was only something I could quickly put together until I could, right, put that time in the slot for editing. And I did that, right? Today was editing day. And I got up and I applied myself, and I'm not somebody who enjoys editing video. I enjoy telling a story, and I enjoy in that creative aspect of putting the story together in a video, right? Technically, no, I don't care for it. So I tend to procrastinate. So in those procrastinating moments, I got the laundry done, got the cat taken care of, did some dishes, cleaned the floors, got some donation bags ready. I started switching over my winter closet, right? From summer into winter. Started that and procrastinated quite a bit today, but I didn't stop. It was in those baby steps that I'm getting it done. You know what happened to me? I had, I think, 15 to 20 minutes of solid video edited for the next upload. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get this uploaded tomorrow, not Wednesday. I'm going to get this done tomorrow. I was all proud of myself. And then it was, right, time to I don't know what I was doing. Was it putting the first load of laundry in? I don't know what it was, but I closed my program and it said, "Do you want to save this file? Do you want to save this file?" And I hit no. And all that work I did today went straight down the tube right before my eyes. And I scrambled, right? Seeing if I could find a saved copy or if I could find a deleted file that I could restore. Oh yeah, I scrambled I think for 5 minutes, right? And I think for those minutes, I knew it was kind of useless that I really did, right? Mess up and delete all the work that I had done today. Lots of people would be triggered by that. For a second, I went, "Are you kidding me?" It's just like all I did is, "Are you kidding me?" I was doing okay in the editing part of it too. It took me a little bit while, but once I got the hang of it, right? Right? Once I learned it, I had it and I was getting the job done. And then that happened and right? Those are the moments you want to give up. Are you kidding me? I says to myself. And I got up and I just said to myself, "Cindy, go downstairs, go get your laundry, bring it up, fold it, and kind of have an om moment for yourself, right? An om moment for yourself." And that's exactly what I did. I got my clothes out of the dryer and I brought everything upstairs and I folded it and I thought, right? And I thought, okay, just give it one more shot to see if you can find a saved file somewheres, right? Right? So I got the laundry done, made myself a cup of coffee, piddled around the desk, procrastinated because I didn't want to see or experience that no, we can't fix this. Especially when I've been at it since this morning and it was already getting to be early evening when I lost, right? I lost my video. But I didn't let it trigger me, right? Just kind of said, "Are you kidding me?" Right? And just kept going. Just right. Was I giving up in the video? No, I wasn't giving up on the video, but I was going to walk away from it. That's for sure because there was no more video there. I had to start from scratch after being at it all day. And I'm not going to say all day because like I said, I did a lot of procrastinating into getting that 15 minutes worth of video. I probably had another 15 minutes or 20 minutes of video to add to that to make my upload for tomorrow. But it was the hardest part. The part where I was trying to tell a story around video that I didn't have because I deleted the video. Isn't that a coincidence? Isn't that a coincidence? From my trip, I accidentally deleted my first 3 days of footage from my trip. And I'm being creative because I want to share the experience of my trip. But for the first 3 days, all I got is photos and a little bit of video from when I first picked up the car, right? And somehow I was able to make it work. Was it fantastic? I don't know. It was it was presentable, right? It worked in the moment. It was a bit of an adapt and conquer, and in that I was proud of myself that I got that hard part taken care of and it made sense. And there was 15 minutes when I didn't have anything. Right? For the first few days, a little bit on the road, a little bit in little pit stops that I made along the way, but I made it work. I was all proud of myself. And then to lose all the video, are you kidding me? And I owned myself out of it. Everything was okay. By the time I came back to the computer, right? Just gonna start over. Renamed my renamed my video. Started just downloading them, right? I knew the order. I've been playing around with it all day. I knew the order they had to go in. I knew where I needed to put my cuts. Half an hour later, just a half an hour, I was right back where I left off, right? But that was only because in messing up all day and procrastinating and going slow, that I was able to keep going, and yet just right do it at snail mode because I had just been shot down, right? Because that's what it felt like, all that work and right, but I wasn't going to let it bother me, and I just went to work and I did it again. In this moment, I am exactly where I left off before my editing video crashed. So that I am grateful. I didn't give up. And then the little bit of break before I go into the next stage to hack a little bit more, knowing that that hard piece that I had to get done, right, in order to tell the rest of the next 2 weeks, I figured it out. It's okay, right? So now going forward, hopefully, right, optimistically, it's going to be a little bit easier for me. But that was because I never gave up. Oh, I slowed down to crawl. I did, but I didn't give up. And I just kept at it. I just kept at it. And what I was doing, we'll see how it goes. We're not there yet, right? It's a video that's got to be up by Wednesday. I want it up by Wednesday morning. And that's the challenge, right? And when those things mess up or try to trip me up or trigger me, right? Because I wasn't angry in that, kind of expected that, right? The whole first part of that video was all about me adapting to make a story out of a video that I was missing the footage because I accidentally deleted it. And in editing the video, I did it again, right? There is a message in that. I'm taking that message as Cindy's not an editor, but I knew that already, right? But the job has to be done, right? Me sharing my experience is not going to happen unless I get that video done. It has to be done by me, right? If I was well set in my brand, of course I would hire an editor, right? To make my small adventures look spectacular. But I don't want them to look anything more than what they are, right? So if I messed up, I messed up, right? In the but not in the editing because I still was able to get that chunk, that explanation, that segment done going forward, right? Learn from those mistakes. I got a ton of footage from this holiday I took. I want to share it, right? Hopefully, that was the hump that I had to get over. I will give some thought to the coincidence that it was accidentally deleting video in both cases, right? Maybe Well, obviously, there's a message in that for me. So that's something I'll give some thought to as I'm moving forward. I've got a half ear going on outside. Somebody's yelling to somebody up in this building complex that I live in, right? So yeah, I'm sure they are bothering lots of people at this time of night, right? People who are calling it an end to their day. I am not, right? Going to move. I got to where I left off. But in order to feel good about this in the morning, right? I'm not going to feel bad about it if I don't. But to feel good in the morning, I want to go a little bit further in the editing. So at the very least, I am a little bit further ahead than square one, right? I'm at square one in this moment after working on my video upload all day long, right? Lots of procrastination. I still got stuff done. And I think that's why it didn't trigger me so badly, because I didn't feel like my day was wasted, right? So we always have that main goal that we need to get done, but there are other things, right? Other projects that can be on the plate. And if you get to them, great. If you didn't get to them, well, that's okay, because the main plan was the priority. But if you're like me and you tend to procrastinate, right, against what you don't care to do, right? Maybe it was what you think about is realized. And because right, in editing that segment, I had to keep watching myself and the lack of content that I had for those four they were fantastic camping spots. They were beautiful on the road. I had just started my trip, so I was excited, right? And the scenery and the landscape and the feeling of letting go of my job and all the responsibilities that I have at home for 2 weeks, right? That was a trip that I created, and I wanted it to be amazing, and it was amazing, but it wasn't without its difficulties, right? And it was why I didn't let the fact that I deleted my video again today bother me so much, because I recognize that if I just push back, just like, are you kidding me? Then just get back to work, right? Redo it and recognize that, oh my goodness, I spent 4 hours on that and that took me 15 minutes, right? And it's in redoing things that we get to be better at it, right? That we get to be experts if we want to. That if we want to be the best in the world, if we're going for the gold medal in the Olympics, that we can. It's just in our decision to not give up, to keep going and learning from our mistakes, picking ourselves up, dusting our knees off, and right. Yeah, very, very interesting. But I feel good. I'm back to square one before I go to bed tonight. I won't stay up for more than maybe another hour, right? We're going to get a little bit ahead, right? A little bit further than square one. Things things happen, right? I'll just push back. And it's okay to be disappointed in that. Are you kidding me? It's just like, oh, all that work. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it is what it is. And that isn't a grumble fest, you guys, just to let you know. It's just in the telling of the experience that people can recognize in their own experience when things mess up, that, right? Lots of times we just say, oh, forget this. And you grab the remote control or the controllers for your video game, or you slam the door as you leave the house and you, right? whatever it is that you do when you give up, right? But if you don't give up, right? If you just dust your knees off and pick yourself up and try again, I would suspect, because I see it more often than not now, that things kind of break through, right? I think it's just meant to discourage you so you give up, right? It's meant to discourage you. But is it the end of the world? Is it end of the project? Is it the end of the possibilities? It's up to us, right? In our choices. And I chose just to shake your head and get right back at it. And if I only get an extra 5 minutes to where I left off, then I'll be good with that. Okay, you guys, that's my good cheer. I'm going to get something cold to drink and I'm going to start again. Okay, you guys, have a good night.